Let's go! It's the PHNX Suns pre-game show. A big night for many reasons. Not called Suns and Wizards. We are brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. I'm your host, Espo. Esau Bookman. I am tired.
I am out of breath.
I am tired after that. So we got a big thing to talk about right off the top.
Man.
The deal is done. Devin Booker and Larry Fitzgerald on the pickleball team.
Let's go. New ownership. Let's go.
All right, not that one, though. We're actually talking about the fact that Robert Sarver has officially sold the Phoenix Suns to Mat Ishbia, and they released a statement. It's basically signed, sealed, and delivered. You just need the NBA Board of Governors to approve it. And everything that Woj has reported, they love him. Adam Silver knows him. This is a done deal. So congratulations, Suns fans. We made it through the dark times.
We did it. We're here.
The hope has begun. There is things to get excited about. We did a deep dive on Matt earlier today when rumors came out that he was likely going to be the owner. Did an hour-long show on that, so go back on the YouTube page or a podcast. Listen and watch that. We'll give you the Cliff Notes version here, though. Mat Ishbia is the CEO of a mortgage company out of Michigan. But more interestingly, he actually played for Tom Izzo and went to 3 straight Final Fours and won a national championship as Tom.
More importantly, he also lost in the Final Four to my beloved Arizona Wildcats. That's all that matters. He's good in my book.
That's true. And we've got our third string backup point guard because that's what he played on the Michigan State team. He was the victory cigar, if you will.
Yes, sir.
He was the guy that you brought in when you knew everything was taken care of.
Dude, I don't, when we were going through our show earlier today, I really felt like, man, we are really zoomed out right now. This is crazy.
We had to get the jump in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I just felt like this is cool. Like, I hope this happens. And then while we were eating dinner, we got the official word that this is basically all but a done deal. And like my mood changed significantly. I underestimated how impactful this was going to be to not only Suns fans, obviously, but also like myself as a long suffering Suns fan for the last 2 decades, and having this team really be drugged down to a depth that I never thought could be possible. It is just an absolute, it's euphoria almost. Like, I'm just so excited for everybody in that organization that has stayed the path and has really fought through some really dark days. I'm happy for my friends like Espo and Lindsay who had to live it, and they now get to see this franchise that everybody loves here in the Valley, in the state, go to another level, hopefully. And more importantly, enough with the black eyes around here in the Valley with organizations that are not taking care of their shit. This is a change, hopefully, in that direction. That's what I'm really hoping for. Obviously, we don't know what lies ahead, but I have nothing but optimism in terms of the future of the Phoenix Suns, and this is a fucking great day.
This is more about what we're saying goodbye to right now than knowing what the future holds. It seems promising. I'll say that for it, and that's great. But right now, I feel like Andy Dufresne, after crawling through 500 yards of shit to see the light on the other side. I'm standing in the rain and celebrating.
You crawled through 500 yards of shit just to come out clean on the other side.
We are here. And can we scroll up a little bit here? As Eric says, na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye, Sarver. Like, I don't, most of the time I'd say act like you've been there, don't stomp on somebody's metaphorical grave. But this guy is getting everything he deserves, except for that $4 billion. He probably doesn't deserve that. Found it interesting that that Matt and his brother Justin bought over 50% controlling interest. So there are some minority owners that are staying. We don't know who yet. But my guess is it's probably John Najafi, that one of the few minority owners that came out against Robert Sarver. I think he owned about 10% of the team. I would not be shocked if he either bought a bigger chunk or remains with that, because he seemed like the one guy that that the NBA would have no problem with staying on board.
Yeah, I wonder, obviously in the negotiation circles, I'm not privy to obviously to the inside details of that.
You weren't in the room?
But also like just the breakdown of the details. How much say did both Sarver and this new owner have in terms of who was going to stay on, whose shares were going to get sold, and so on and so forth. But honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's out of Bobby Sarv's, as my guy Jody Ayler would say. It's out of his hands. Maybe we should do a shirt. Should we say? Should we do a fucking shirt that says "Bye, Bob"? That's it with the deuce. Let's go, right?
What? Can we do 11s?
11s! Let's go! Yes.
Look, I can officially say the disgraced former owner of the Phoenix Suns, no longer the future former disgraced owner of the Phoenix Suns.
Great day.
Mat Ishbia had a quote that I want to share. That he
prep your eyes, because this is a doozy.
I'll read through it, and this is only half of it that's on the image.
Lindsay, I just want you to know, because I know you're watching, I tried to prevent this, but some things just can't be prevented.
I felt it was important to include as much of the context as possible. In a statement that he issued with the former disgraced owner of the Phoenix Suns, he said, "I'm extremely excited to be the next governor of the Phoenix Suns and Mercury. Both teams have an incredibly dynamic fan base, and I loved experiencing the energy of the Valley over the last few months. Basketball is at the core of my life, from high school days as a player to the honor of playing for Coach Izzo and winning a national title at Michigan State University. I've spent the last 2 decades building my mortgage business, United Wholesale Mortgage, into the #1 mortgage lender in America." Free advertisement. I added that part in. "And I'm confident that we can bring that same level of success to these great organizations on and off the floor. This is a dream come true for my entire family, including my parents, my 3 children, and my brother Justin, who will be making a significant investment with me and bringing his incredible business acumen and shared passion for basketball. We are so honored to be, with the approval of the NBA, the next stewards of the Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury."
I think in addition to that, he has been to the Valley. He had been out here, I guess, the last 2 months, just kind of, trying to see what this fan base was all about, what the Valley was all about. And he left very impressed. It felt like this was a passionate city when it comes to the Suns. I think if there was an organization here in the Valley out of the 4 sports teams, the Coyotes have a very passionate but small fan base, right?
Yeah.
But the Suns have always been the bell cow of the Valley. They're the original franchise, and you can feel that with the fan base. You can feel that in the city, and I think that really rubbed off on him and probably made him feel like he was right at home, coming from Michigan State. So, I mean, listen, on paper, I think this is a great thing. Obviously, we're probably more celebratory about the fact that Robert Sarver is gone as opposed to the new ownership group, but because we just don't know, right?
Yeah, and they got a lot of work to do,
frankly,
on the business side, and some big decisions to make on the basketball side. But I think you make a good point that the Suns are the Valley's first love. There's no doubt about it. There's a love affair that has been strong for 50-plus years in this town with this team. And today felt like a cleansing of sorts, that you've exorcised the demons of the last 18 years, and hopefully you're back on the path to being one of the crown jewels of the NBA with a guy that understands basketball. I'm not going to say he's the second coming of Colangelo. That would be ridiculous. But when you think about it, he's a Midwest boy that played college basketball, that loves the sport, that's coming to a new city, that he's going to try to rebuild that success. Fans appreciate that in this town.
What I also appreciate is this guy is 42 years old. He's young by NBA ownership standards, obviously.
By most standards.
Yeah, he is younger than me. I did not want to bring that up, but thank you. But there's going to be a different way and a different approach of how to engage with this franchise and what things to look out for. He did that in the mortgage circles. I know there's whatever you want to see and whatever you're going to hear a bunch of good and bad things about this guy, I'm sure. But one of the things he did do was he did build a huge facility to where his company and the employees in the company will be able to go see their primary care provider, work out in the facility, grab breakfast every single morning and have a coffee place and all these other things and dry cleaning. So that way everything is kind of in one spot. So that way, when you were done with work, you can basically go home and just focus on your family. You didn't have to worry about all those extracurriculars. So hopefully he could take a little bit of that innovation, if you will, and bring it to this franchise, not only for the employees, but also for the fans. This is a completely different dynamic than the mortgage world. Oh, yeah. I'm excited to see what kind of changes he may or may not make that will benefit all of us.
Look, he's going to want to win. I think it's in his DNA. He's already got a title. Magic Johnson was singing his praises, said he had a phone call with him today, and he's excited to see what he does in the NBA. Jason Richardson, one of his former teammates, wishing him well here. Like, I want to see the commitment to winning, and I think this guy will bring it. And we're going to find out real quick because there's a trade deadline looming, and he's going to be the one making the financial decisions for this club. No longer will we hear, well, we don't know what future assets James Jones can trade. I'm guessing everything and anything is on the table now, including spending whatever money it's going to take to try to win things and potentially do it this year. So excited for that. There is a game on the horizon, though, that they need to win tonight.
Also, Devin Booker tried to tell you all last night. He tried to tell you all. He just couldn't say it, right? He wore that everybody was ripping him about the Detroit Red Wings sweater jersey. And guess what? Deniable, you're right. He was he had to have had the inside tip. So that's pretty cool.
Two Michigan boys. I mean, he's probably about Book's dad's age, maybe a little younger than Book's dad. So maybe they ran in some similar circles out there. Look, I'm excited. Can't wait to see what this brings. But we do have a game tonight. The Washington Wizards are in town, which means Kyle Kuzma,
the drama continues.
The person who's the affection of many Suns fans right now is in the building for an actual reason to play in a game tonight rather than watch, as the Wizards have been struggling lately, to say the least. They're on a downslide, pretty much fallen out of the playoff picture in the East, sitting at 10th. Bradley Beal and crew not getting it done. And let's take a look at the injury list tonight, because we're going to see another game where we're not seeing all the stars. We've got Cam Johnson obviously out, Jock Landell still out in concussion protocol, Devin Booker out, Cam Payne out, Josh Okogie out with right hip soreness tonight, and then Rui Hachimura. I always screw that up.
I love Rui.
And DeLon Wright.
Gonzaga Bulldog. Let's go.
They're both out.
Rag 'em.
And Kristaps Porzingis is on the injury report. I believe he's a game-time decision. Have not heard yet if he's playing.
What's up with the Suns and their off-day concussions?
Yeah, and Jock was on the bench last night, and so I can't imagine it's too bad, because arena lights and all that, usually not the best for a concussion, so they must be examining him. What does that look, Jacob? Have you...
There's just a lot of weirdness being thrown around in the chat.
There's some crazy ass
comments
going on.
I thought you were making.
There's some crazy ass comments going on in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Listen, all right, genitalia off the table. We're not talking about it, okay?
Tizdu thinks it could be on the table.
Do not derail the show, Espo.
You guys brought it up. I was talking about the game.
You had to make a comment about me, and that's where we got sidetracked.
Listen, future son Bradley Beal is on display tonight.
You think it's Bradley Beal? Is that the guy? Now that we have a new owner that's got deep pockets. There's a new.
In the words of Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. Let's go.
Hey, sure. Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma both on their way, auditioning tonight. Book not out there, so it's going to be another game where you're relying on Mikhail, DA, and CP3 to take care of
which
things.
should be fine.
I think tonight's a McHale and DA night because they played fewer minutes last night than CP3.
I don't think that's going to matter.
Well, I think they're going to have fresh legs, and CP3 is almost the age of the owner now.
Yeah.
So
he's only like 3 years younger.
I mean, that's the craziness. So I think we're going to have to see DA come out very much like he did last night and really help this team out. And you're going to need McHale to shoot more efficiently this evening.
Yeah, you're going to need McHale to basically show up offensively. Yeah. Like if he does that, gives you 20 tonight and DA gives you 20 tonight, you should be in good shape. But, I kind of want to see, honestly, DA has probably been the more consistent of the two in the last month and a half by far. It hasn't even been close. DA's basically, his floor has now been now 20 points, it feels like, over the course of the last month and a half. I want to see DA start to take that next step where the 25 to 28 is now the baseline. And then before I was actually listening to 98.7 today, and they felt like the only person capable of getting you 35 on any given night was basically Devin Booker. And I agreed at first, but then I thought, you know what? No, I do believe DA's got 35 in him at some point this season, if not multiple times this season. I feel like we're going to see that at some point. We're going to see he's going to have a banger of a game. And I just feel like DA is on the verge. He looks far more confident, even coming back from the ankle. Last night in the first quarter, confident.
Well, I feel like he could have had 35 last night.
Yeah, if the Iceman didn't ice him out. The Iceman, by the way, is money, just so you all know.
You can't give him George Gervin's nickname.
Yeah, well, he ices his players better than anybody else.
The Freezer. We'll call him the Freezer.
The Freezer. There you go. I like that.
Freezer. Let's take a look at what we're betting on tonight. Let's see what the DraftKings Sportsbook app has as the favorite tonight in this game. It's the Phoenix Suns by 7.5. That doesn't surprise me. And I'm sure they're going to have a little extra bounce in their step because of the news that everybody's aware of now.
I don't know if they will because, listen, like Devin Booker is not playing tonight. He would be the one guy that I feel like would because he's been here the longest. I think guys like Chris Paul, it's probably a little bit more irrelevant to him. DA, maybe a little bit. But honestly, I'm actually expecting a lot more from the fans tonight. I think you're going to feel the energy in the building. For a game against the Wizards, you probably are not prepared for what you're going to hear and feel on a Tuesday night. Like, I almost want to just look at the Game Time app right now and just run down to the arena because it's only a couple blocks away from our office. Like, hell yeah.
I think we can get loud in here, too. I think we've proven that throughout the show. But, yeah, I think this is it's going to be a fun night out at the building because I think a lot of angst and frustration will be released by the fan base. Let's see what our picks for tonight's game are. And, I went with the Suns hitting the first field goal and it being a three-pointer tonight at plus 450.
I hope Chris Paul's game last night against the Lakers was not an aberration. He had 28 last night, looked really good offensively, felt like he was in a little bit more control. I hope that carries over tonight. So I am being optimistic, and I'm picking Chris Paul with the over of 16.5 points tonight at a minus 115.
Yeah, and then let's look at our actual game picks, see who the crew had. No Gerald or Lindsay in studio, but they did get their picks in. Gerald has the Suns by 7. Lindsay, in her her sickness stupor, has the Suns by 3. I have the Suns by 6. I'm feeling a little bit more confident, but you are the most confident of all of us.
I will take them over the 7.5. Awesome.
I think everybody feels like the Suns are going to win this one tonight for a myriad of reasons.
Whoa. First of all, Juan.
You don't like that word myriad?
No, not that. Listen here there, Juan. DA has played great over the last month and a half. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have these singular games where he plays like an asshole, okay? All because I said he was tiptoeing through the tulips about, 5 games ago before he injured his ankle doesn't mean that he hasn't played great overall over the last month and a half. There's a big picture, and then there's isolated incidents. We got to be able to separate the two.
We do have an update from Gerald Bourguet. Kristaps Porzingis is out tonight with a COVID injury, and something called Daniel Gafford will be starting in his place.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, by the way, Juan, we're celebrating because, Robert Sarver's gone. That's why. So, welcome to the program. Let's talk about our final piece tonight. Kyle Kuzma. We had a little bit of a discussion last night. Tonight feels like it could be his last game in a Wizards uniform. If you're going to trade him, you don't deal him right before you play the team you're going to move him to, right?
I heard Kyle Kuzma brought an extra bag. I don't know what that means, but maybe he's going to be traded after the game. I don't know. We'll see.
Where did you hear this? You got a guy on the inside plane-wise?
He's got sources.
I got sources.
Sources. My sources are telling me.
Sources
You're not going to kill this
He
rumor?
usually travels with 2 bags, but today he brought 3. I don't know what that accent was.
Stephen Hay
I
or
don't
Gambo?
know. I don't
Did
know.
Stephen
It's
Hay and
both.
Gambo have a baby?
It's Stephen Gambo. That's what it is.
Stephen Gambo here. Pull up the limo. Kyle Kuzma is coming, and Landry Shamet is leaving. We have no sources. That's not a report.
No, that's
Don't
not a
go
report
nuts, Autumn, there at all. But look, it should be a fun game out there at Footprint Center. If you're on your way, you better hurry your ass up. There's 8 minutes till tip. Make sure to join us after the game right here. We'll talk to you about everything that happened and anything else that comes up on the ownership front as well. So for Saul Bookman, follow him at Saul_Bookman. I'm Espo. You can follow me at Espo. And Greta, this is for you. Ahoy hoy.
He's so tight, he squeaks when he walks.
PHNX.
Hey yo, my lifestyle is retro. Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though. Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo.